Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Life with Chabamwe. I hope everyone is doing amazing, okay? Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about why you should never come on the internet and write about a relationship that has ended. And personally, I will never do it, okay? At one point, I almost did, but let me tell you something, it's not worth it, okay? Especially if it's been something long term, like basically any relationship you've been in and it has ended. I do know we live in an age where you people feel, where the internet has made you feel like you have to explain yourself and all that kasasiro. But personally, I believe these are things you should. This is one of the things you should never bring on the internet, especially when a relationship has ended. What am I talking about? I mean, speaking about a relationship, like you come and then you start to call out everything that was wrong with your partner, all the bad things they did, and you focus on that. Why am I saying it's not right, and why am I saying personally I would never do it? One, it's simply childish, okay? Yes. And we have seen a lot of couples that break up and bring their drama on the internet, and it never ends well, especially in situations that involve children, okay? And that is one of the things I don't like, when a couple breaks up, children are involved, and then they start to wash their dirty laundry. One, once you do something like that, once you come on the internet and talk about the other person, they are going to be forced, because not everyone is that mature. A lot of people are retaliate and actually want to bring more energy. It gets to a competition of, now I want to see who can say the worst, okay? You start to embarrass each other. And of course, the main important reason, personally, I would never stoop that low, okay, is because, yeah, I'm sorry I'm using that, but I feel like I'm stooping that low, okay? It doesn't matter even if, like, let's say now I have a YouTube channel. Let's say I put a man here and we break up. I wouldn't have a reason to come and paint him in a demonic light. What if there are exceptions when it comes to this? For example, let's say domestic violence, let's say child abuse has been involved. Come and speak about it. We love to shame people like that, and it's time we start holding such people accountable for their bullshit. But however, personally, I see it like this, okay? And this is going to sound really terrible for someone to say, but we need to understand and accept, okay, that by the time a relationship has failed, it takes two parties, okay? It takes two people to make a relationship fail, okay? The same way it takes two people to make a relationship work is the same way it takes two people to make a relationship fail. So I would never come on the internet and start to point fingers and start to be like, oh, we broke up because this and this and this. Absolutely. Why? I refuse to participate in a blame game, especially when it is about something that I actively participated in. Okay, so a lot of us need to also accept that that is actually that is one of the few very hard pills that were hard for me to swallow a few years back. Okay, we need to understand that relationships can end. Okay, yes, and you have, there's something where I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about acceptance. It is good to live this life with acceptance. Accept what life brings at you. Accept, yes, because when you don't accept it, you start to do things like that. You start to wash your old partner's dirty laundry in public. But then again, you can't come on the internet and point fingers to your old partner. But at the end of the day, you guys were together at one point, okay? So if it's their dirty linen you're washing, you're also washing your own, okay? So personally, I will never come on the internet to expose a previous partner like that, okay? Because one, we are adults. Yes, tuli bantu bakulu. Tuli bantu bakulu. What we were doing, we were both adults. Yes, because when you're getting in a relationship, you're grown enough to know that this might not work out. You have to know. Okay, however it happened, whatever happened, me, I believe we need to normalize ending a relationship with some dignity. And one of the other reasons I refuse to come on the internet and talk about past partners, past relationships, and dissect them the way a lot of you do is because in that moment, during that relationship, this person trusted you enough to be themselves, to open up, things like that. That's why I have an issue with the YouTube couple channels, okay? Because usually when it breaks, it's both sides, then it becomes toxic and kids are involved. Personally, I hold respect for every man I have ever been with, okay? Yes, I hold very high respect for them, however much it ended. There has to be banayuganda mukaita kutya akobuntu. There has to be a little respect. These are people who also have their own lives. Just because they've stopped being in your life does not mean they don't have a life to continue to live. Because the things a lot of us come and say about our past partners, yes, a lot of you are saying from a very hurt place. You're not talking from a healed place. Personally, I'm saying this because I'm talking from a healed place. And a lot of you need to understand that is a disclaimer. Kindly consume content cautiously, okay? Not everything, even personally, not everything I say, you should take everything. Pick a few things out of it. Because again, on this channel, I have emphasized on the fact that I speak from personal experience, okay? I speak from things I have experienced, what I have gone through, what I have overcome, what I have seen people around me go through, okay? Things like that. So please consume content cautiously, because there are people who speak, but they're speaking from a very hard place, okay? So before you put your camera, your ring light on and start to paint a very negative light about a previous partner, please keep in mind that you are showing who you are, okay? And that alone honestly makes even your future partners a bit skeptical of you. It becomes so hard for someone to trust you. Yes, like, what up with you, my guy, okay? And of course, I don't want people to say, oh my God, you're such a hypocrite. We've seen you hint. I have hinted, but I've never come here and been like, oh, this specific relationship, this man, and dissected it like that. Because there has to be a little decorum, a little respect to the people. Yes, relationships are allowed to end, okay? And personally, one thing I have come to understand is we need to get into relationship understanding and ready to accept that during relationships, people might change. And unfortunately, there are some pairs that are not able to change and they evolved together, okay? Yes, there are people naturally who just don't evolve. And in a relationship, we have to accept, even as humans in life, we evolve at different stages, we change at different stages. So the problem comes in when two people come together and they don't know how to change and evolve together, okay? So when that happens and that relationship ends, please don't bring it to the internet. Don't, because when it was starting, you didn't bring it to the internet. Okay, you might have. That is why I also like to talk about internet etiquette, okay? I do believe that there are things that are too sacred to be just put on the internet just like that all the time, anyhowly, okay? Yes, and I personally said it. I did a video on this channel where I talked about things you might probably never see on my YouTube channel. And part of those things were my partner, okay? And the reason I say that is it's not because I want to hide my partner. Of course, I would post them. I'll be like, oh my God, I had a lunch date, dinner, or trips with my partner. You would be aware. But it would still be with the thing of, with a little etiquette, okay? So, of I don't throw him too much in your face, that even if it ended, you wouldn't really miss the person. Yes. That's why I was like, personally, I don't think I will ever come to a point of or be comfortable with posting my partner, or if I have a family, my children, let's say like a family channel, like raising my children in front of the camera. I just don't like that. There's a way it creeps me out, okay? And yes, it works for certain people, but personally, I'm against it, okay? Anyway, back to the important thing. At the end of the day, we need to accept that once our relationship fails, it has failed, and you have to be ready to accept that the relationship has failed. Okay, most of the time the people who come on the internet and the first person to make a video is usually the problem. Okay, like, what are you trying to defend? Why are you trying to paint yourself like you're any better? Like, something is wrong with you. Okay, that's why I respect. There is a couple, was she Nikki Thought or something, and Jamie, some white guy, they were Australian. The marriage ended. None of them has ever come out to point fingers, and I love and respect that. Okay, both of them moved on individually, because why? It takes maturity. That is why I like to tell a lot of you, careful who you lay in bed with. Okay, it takes a lot of maturity for the relationship to end, and for people to keep it respectful. They kept it respectful because, one, they knew that children were involved. A lot of you need to understand the internet never forgets, especially in situations where children are involved. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about this. Okay, just small, quick, because I feel like a lot of people are getting too comfortable with the internet knowing you too much. Then when people come in and throw certain things at you, that you exposed yourself, you washed your dirty linen in public. So when the public starts to throw that dirty linen back in your face, you have a problem with it. Okay, for those of you with children, be very cautious. Okay, the internet never forgets. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, let's all learn to take accountability. Let's be accountable. When a relationship ends, both sides contributed. Okay, the same way we like to say it takes two people for a relationship to work, is the same way it takes two people for a relationship to fail. How does the relationship fail? Both of you start to take each other for granted. It happens. You start to take each other for granted. The respect is no longer there, and you start to live in denial. A lot of you simply have issues communicating. And I've said this for those of you who follow me on TikTok and watch my lives. I've talked about how some of you are mature in age, okay? But emotionally, you are not mature enough to handle a relationship. You're not emotionally mature and ready to do what it takes, okay, to make a relationship work. And it is what it is. So when a relationship ends, take accountability, okay? Personally, when a relationship ends, I like to look at myself and I'm like, what happened? What went wrong? What did I do wrong? Instead of coming to the internet and starting to make some other person look like the problem. It takes two to tango, honey. I repeat, the same way it takes two people for a relationship to work is the same way it takes two people for a relationship to fail. Oh my God, it's raining. The bugs are those little things that fly when it's raining. But okay, that is why even personally, in all my relationships, okay, I have had moments I ask men, okay, I ask the man I'm with, I'm like, what is it about me that you are not happy with? And I know it might trigger a lot of you, and it might not be that, oh my God, feminists, you might come and eat me with a big spoon. But here's why I ask it. Because I want to know. I want to be able to be accountable, and I'll be like, yes. Because I don't want to ever get to a point where I'll be like, maybe, yes. Personally, every 2-3 months in any relationship, healthy relationship, I like to sit down and we both check ourselves. We were like, so how are we? Yeah, how are we failing our relationship? That is one of the rules I have in my relationships. We have to be able to sit. You sit down and tell me, by the way, there's this thing that I don't like. I also tell you, I'm like, my sweet baby, I don't like how you raise your voice. And we talk. You see? So at the end of the day, let's stop coming here and pointing fingers. Okay? I said what I said, feel how you feel. The same way it takes two people for a relationship to work. the commitment, the dedication, the loyalty is the same way. It takes the same two people. It takes the same effort from the same people to destroy and end a relationship. Yes, that is why personally, I will never absolutely come here and talk about how a relationship ended, why it ended, what they did, what. No, because I actively participated in it. I am an adult. Okay, so that's all I wanted. I just wanted to do this video because I believe a lot of us have gotten too comfortable on the internet. We are forgetting that people have boundaries, people have lives. Some of these people you break up with actually have jobs. Some of these people have companies. Like, let's keep it a little respectful. A relationship can end, you can move on, and it can be very respectful without you being bitter. Of course, it hurts when a relationship ends. Trust me, I know. A relationship ends, especially if you had high hopes for it and you saw it go somewhere. It hurts in our manga too, but move on graciously, respectfully, and when respect is being served on both sides. Okay, yes, because once one party in the pair goes to on a rant, the other one is going to. Naturally, humans, we are defensive. It can easily get bitter, it can easily get nasty, it can easily get out of control. You can say things you will never take back. Okay, yes, that's just something I wanted to talk about because I have seen a lot of young beautiful couples with young small families. Okay, and they're so cute, but then when it ends, the aftermath is so toxic, so childish. As I've said this, a lot of you in age you are grown, but emotionally, mentally, you are not mature enough and ready to be in relationships. It is what it is, and you can tell from what happens after the relationship ends. Okay, so that's been it from me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.